My name's Kate Stitham, and I'm the president and founder of Integrative Inquiry Consulting. I've been working in leadership development and equity work for most of my career. My specialty is definitely educational design. I spent much of my master's thinking about how to build and design programs that help us navigate conflict in multicultural contexts when we have people coming from different backgrounds coming together. And so from the years I lived in the Middle East and the more than a decade I spent actually working in the refugee and immigrant communities here in the US, I have remained committed to trying to understand and reflect on my own role and place in this work. I think it's probably that actually makes integrative inquiry a unique offering, is that we're always looking to learn and grow. So prior to building the consulting firm, I worked in a variety of industries, from the corporate sector to the nonprofit. But I kept finding the same problems across all the different industries I was in. And that was a fundamental inability to engage others in dialogue and to acknowledge feedback and learn. There was a huge resistance to change. And it occurred at the managerial level, the individuals that I worked with, but it actually occurred across the organization. It impacted the policies, how they responded to criticism, but also their just ability to have an authentic, transparent culture. Over and over again, I kept seeing high levels of turnover happening, particularly among employees from marginalized groups. And no one was talking about it. And to talk about it was somehow like airing dirty laundry. It was a way to, it meant that we were acknowledging a fundamental problem in our organizations. So when I started consulting 5 years ago, I decided to focus my design skills not just on delivering content and building trainings, but on actually building capacity inside of my clients' organizations so that they could develop the skills and tools that they needed to have these sorts of conversations. To acknowledge those areas of opportunity and to engage their employees and stakeholders in this work and in this space. And I knew that my skills and perspectives weren't enough. So I began actively looking for other professionals with expertise and experiences that complemented my own. And I found a fantastic group of individuals. And through partnerships and joint collaborations, we started to really shape a vision of what we wanted this firm to be. And that's how integrative inquiry really began to take form. I think what sets us apart in this work is that we focus on the process of equity work. We work with organizations to increase their communication skills between team members and to build psychological safety so that they can have these hard-to-have conversations. And I see us in many ways as a complementary but distinctive service from other consulting firms that more explicitly focus on content delivery around topics of equity, whether that's regarding race, gender, sexual orientation, or other barriers explicitly faced by certain groups. So what we recognized was actually that there was an interpersonal and cultural gap that was preventing real change around equity and inclusion in many organizations. So at Integrative Inquiry, we focus on how to build competencies in being uncomfortable, how we can learn to acknowledge our mistakes and call one another into conversations instead of calling one another out. And so by focusing on the process work, in complement to other groups that are working on the content, we hope that through all of this work together, we can transform our communities, our organizations, and ultimately our world.